Hello everybody. Let's get started on our October daily. And it's going to fit in here. Whoops, in here. So I think my measurements are about, put it in right, 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 by 2 3/4. So let's make this 5 by 5 by 2. So I have this chipboard from Country Craft Creations website, and it's available in 8.5 by 11, and she also has 12 by 12. And come to think about it, I seen she has 12 by 12 black chipboard, which would have been perfect for this. We wouldn't have had to color it in. So next time, there I go, I could use, I think that all of my projects so far have been black that I've made with the chipboard. So next time I'm getting chipboard, I'm getting black chipboard. So let's go ahead. We're going to cut this the same way I cut my other chipboard, and this is an 8.5 by 11, so I'll be able to get the entire book out of this one piece. And I'm just cutting it at 5. I'm pulling this down. I'm putting this cut line on the 5. No, I don't want to do that. Do I want to do that? No, I can't do that. If I do that, I won't have... Yeah, no, I can do that. Okay. 5. Sorry, guys. Okay, and I'm going to turn it over, make sure I'm on the right side. Line that up again at 5. Line that one up at 5. And then I'm going to turn it. I'm going to cut once at 5 this way. Flip it over. And 5. Okay, so there's my 2 covers. I just want to slide them in here and see how they look. Sitting in there. So you'll see, this is what you'll see, which is nice. I'm good with that. Okay, so we're done with this. I'm going to put this away. So you got your 2 5 by 5s, and now I need a 2 by 5. Just take one of these. And there we go. Miniature October daily here. And you don't have to do the hinge. You could do a binder ring. I thought about it, but I'm kind of used to doing this style, so maybe later. Alright, so these I don't need right now, but I keep these for any structural projects that I do. And when I make this is the first time I've made an October daily, but when I think about an October daily, the first thing I think of is that essentially all I need for October daily is 31 places for photos and journaling, or 31 places for photos and then some journaling, depending on how often you journal. So that's what I'm going to kind of work around. I'm going to get for the cover and spine, I'm going to get a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. And I'm going to cut it at 6 inches. And then I'm gonna need at least another 3 inches over here. So the other half of this, I'm gonna cut down. I'm gonna cut to 4. Yeah, that'll overlap a little. I don't want my seam on the spine or anywhere near this, well, anywhere near the spine, basically, including the 2 edges, so I'll kind of at least give myself a 1/2 inch on all sides. And looks like I'm going to want that on the 3/4 mark here. So I'm going to take my Scor tape. I got some 1/4 inch Scor tape. Tamara has Scor tape available on countrycraftcreations.com. So I'm going to put it on the small piece, and then I'm going to put it on this piece right along the edge. And then I'm going to put it here. Actually, no, I should put it here. In there. Okay, so that should. And then I was on the 3/4 mark. Was it that 3/4 mark? No. Was this 3/4 mark? Actually, I think I'll just put it. You see what I did? I messed that up. Somebody stop me. Okay, new paper. 4 inches. I'm gonna put it on. There, right? Okay. I'm gonna put it on that mark. Okay, so my paper's gonna go right here. Alright, there we go. Let me just peel this off. Alright, and I'm going to line up on my cutting board here. That's that. That's all there is to it. I am going to ATG the covers and outline them in Scor tape. The middle of the cover doesn't, I mean, it should be fine. You don't have to like have Scor tape covering the whole thing, because all you're doing is just making sure that the paper sticks to it so that it doesn't bubble up. What's going to hold the cover is the Scor tape and then the Scor tape along the outside. So and we left enough room in the box. If if you want to put a dangle or a closure on it, you can. And then we're just going to give ourselves like a 1/2 inch around. Okay, and you want to leave about a 1/4 inch, and if you want, it helps it out, and you really need it anyways. Let's just line up a 1/4 inch along this side here, giving us a good spacer, and make sure it's even at the top and bottom here. Now we'll run a 1/4 inch spacer along this one. This is not being my friend. Maybe. Alright. There we go. This is too much buildup. I'm gonna take some of this off. Well, maybe I'm not. I'll wrap it around there. And finally, there we go. That took a little longer than I like. Make sure they're lined up. And as expected, I have an extra about 1/4 inch over there. I can cut it off. I'll put it in my paper trimmer over here. Better a little extra than not enough. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to score tape along the entire bottom, top, and sides on the actual chipboard, and then I'm going to do it along the outside of the cardstock, just to make sure I got everything covered. And just pulling up the sides here of these, of the middle section. There we go. Again on this side. Turn. Okay, And then I like to miter my corners. And then fold along all the sides. After they're folded, you can remove the adhesive. Gotta get this off the inside here. Alright, whoops, that didn't go very well. Alright, it's gonna stick still. Okay, I don't think it really matters what you do first as far as outside or long side or short side. I'm gonna push that down, and voila, you have a cover. And then I'm going to take my bone folder, and this is a nice EK Success bone folder. They are available at countrycraftcreations.com. And there we go. There's our cover. It's that easy. So when we put it in here, you're gonna see like the entire cover pretty much. Awesome. Alright. Okay, next we'll do our hinge, our pages, maybe a charm. So stay tuned. Okay, hi again everybody. So I have my album here, and I have a cheat sheet, but I can't find it. I'm going to cover the inside of this album. And remember, this is an October daily, so I said we need 31 places to journal and 4 pictures. Spit it out. But I'm trying to do okay, everybody. I'm here with my mini album for my calendar. And I have my cheat sheet, and remember, it's an October daily, so we're going 31 places for pictures and or journaling. And the first thing I'm going to do is cover the back of this so I can put my hinges on. I'm going to do 6 pages, and I think I like this for the background. Unfortunately, it's just a tad too short, so I'm going to have to piece it. Let's leave like an 1/8 inch border. So my book here is just a little over 5. So let's try 4 7/8. And how do I want to do the hinge? before we do that, let's go ahead and do the hinge. I'm going to do the stack the deck hinge. So we'll do 4 7/8 by 2.5 by 2 and by 1.5. So there's my 4 7/8 by 2. Oops, I'm supposed to do 1 by 2.5. Yeah, that's 2. By 2.5. And my 1.5. Those are my hinges. And I will score at a 1/2 inch from both sides. I'm going to grab some plain black cardstock. And I'm going to go ahead and do 4 7/8 by 6 times 2. And this one does have a pattern. I want it to go a certain way. And because the hinges are 4 7/8, we can leave that gap in the middle and it's not going to hurt anything because we're going to cover it up. And I am distressing all the edges. That show. And I think I'm going to do the same with this as I do with my covers. Put some tape in the middle and then extra strength along the outside. And something to keep in mind is that if you intend on numbering things by day or by event, my December daily last year, I just did it by event. Then you are going to need numbers. And because I was thinking of using the thickers that I had used on the front of the box and on the front of the, or on the blocks for the numbers, I figured out how many we need, and there's just no way that that's going to happen. So if you're going to put numbers, you need a total of 14 ones, 13 twos, 5 threes, 3 fours, and one of the other numbers, including 0. So yeah, I was like, well, I mean, there's a couple different things. I am pretty sure I have some alphas in there. I'm positive that I have alphas in there, like the Project Life alphas, that there's just a ton of sticker sheets, and I would have enough of those, but they're not what I want. So I think what I've decided to do is number them with the Cameo, but I was thinking that, you know, what if you want to put the number on the, you know, on your picture, or you want to write around it, you know, around your journaling or something. So I think I'll make the numbers and not put them on. We'll just have to count and make sure that I have enough spots. 31 spots. Okay. So here is the inside cover, and I like that it looks super creepy so far, but it's not gonna stay that way. And I almost put that on upside down. Or maybe this is upside down. I'm gonna have to decide this before I put any more paper on. Which side is right side up? Well, I guess it doesn't matter because one of them is right side up and the other one's upside down. Okay, this is gonna be the front because the seam is back here. Oh well, you'll have that. Okay, and now the scoreboard out. And these hinges, again, 2.5, 2, and 1.5. We just need to score at 1/2 inch on both sides. And I lost my Scor tool that I normally use here. Alright. This one's like a really, really sharp one. Try not to go through the paper. And I know these aren't Scor tools. I can't remember what they are. For quilling, maybe? My paper quilling friends, are these for quilling? Or are they for making flowers, like rubbing the... Maybe they're for everything, including scoring. Okay. I shall find my other one. Okay, so this one's already got a piece of Scor tape on it. So the hinge is important to make sure it stays on. So we're going to Scor tape this one up real good. These are 1/4 inch. I think I got a little bigger one here. Good to have on hand. Scor tape is better than wet glue in instances where you don't want it to be too stiff. Here. I got some stuck on my camera stand over here from times when I pulled too much off. Okay, so that's good. Put that there. And then while I have it here, actually I was going to put it on both sides of the hinge, but not yet because I'm not sure what we're gonna do. Here we go. And then you just gotta make sure that you line these up fairly straight. The straighter the better. The straighter they are, the straighter your pages may end up. So you should have about 1/4 inch on both sides of the spine here. This one had too much tape on it. No problem. Get that to come off. Okay. And then the middle one, which is the 2 inches. And again, you're going to have a 1/4 inch gutter on either side. So just kind of line that up. Try and make it straight. Push it flat. And then again with this one, you should have a 1/4 inch gutter on each side. So this album I designed a little bit differently than I normally do. Normally I try and find like a base page and then just add to it. That looks pretty good. This one's a little off. That's okay. But this time, because I was counting, I just kind of threw it together. So my first page here, I guess I didn't need to fill this completely because the bottom here is going to be a pocket. And actually that's not too bad. I had this piece already cut over there. And typically I glue my pockets in so stuff doesn't get stuck to the tape, but I think this will be alright since it's already taped on 2 sides. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Here we go. And this is going to be day 1. And I'm lining this up with the outside because the inside bend here, you don't want it to go into that bend. You want it to sit on just the page. So if you make that go into the bend, you're not going to have a good crease here, and things will start folding up. Let's see, for the bottom of this, let's do perfect. Let's do, I think I can get away with it not showing the blue marker. If it does, then I'll just, that's 1.5. So I'm going to take this down to a little under 1.5. Measure down. Let's see. I got a little bit of blue showing over here. That was what I cut out of the window. But I am going to cover it up with ink here, so all is well. Okay. And this just gets glued on, taped on. Here we go. This is square 1 of 31, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 3x4 cut apart and make a little mat. So I'm going to cut, these are 3x4. I'm going to cut at 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, and let's do Let's do the first one. Let's do Welcome My Pretties. Okay. And that would be, I think, a perfect first page for a December or an October daily. So day one is going to go on the back of this mat that says Welcome My Pretties. And it has the matching floral print for the pocket. And again, you distress the sides and it gets rid of that white core from the paper, and it fixes my mess ups where, you know, I didn't cut it all the way. Whoop. It's gonna kill me, you guys, to cut these cut-aparts up to use this paper on the back, but I have got to use that paper on the back. I cannot forego. I'm just trying to get the tape as close to the edges as possible. And here we go. How about that? Day one. Yay. All right. My camera's not overheating yet, so let's continue on. Okay, so day two is going to be a page, and the pages are 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. I'm not going to make side pockets. So this one, I'm just taking a 12 by 12 piece of paper. I'm going to cut at 4 3/4. That hinge is a bit bigger than 4 3/4. That was 4 7/8. I'm going to cut one at 4 7/8. We're going to make our pages 4 7/8. By something. Let's see. Let's see what it comes out at. There's 4 7/8. Let's see. How big are we going to make our paper? So we'll go from this hinge to this edge. 4 3/4, you guys, would only be like right here. So let's go 5 1/4. So our pages are going to be 4 7/8 by 5 1/4. Let's write that down. Okay. So I got this one cut at 4 7/8, and it's 5 1/4, but I want to fold in it. So I want like 5 1/4 and then 4 3/4. So that would be 10. No, that would be no, that's 10. So let's cut this at 10. Okay. And then, whoops, excuse me guys, I need to be loud. We're gonna score at 5 1/4. This is better. It's not so harsh. They have these at Country Craft Creation website, by the way. Okay, so essentially that is the front of page 1, and it's going to be, we have 1 already. This is going to be 2 and 3. So let's go ahead and put it on the hinge. I'm going to take my 1/4 inch score tape right down the side of this hinge. And the good thing about putting the paper on, or putting the page on the hinge, before you put the paper on is because it's going to hold on. One, you cover the hinge, like you won't see it. And two, it puts a little extra strength in it. So I want about 1/8 of an inch there. Make sure it lays flat and then push. So actually, you guys, this one doesn't have to be 1. This can be 1. I didn't count this page. So this can be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Aha, all right. But like I said, I'm not going to number it, so I'm just going to print the numbers out so we can kind of look. I got ink on this. I wonder if there's any way I can get that off. That really didn't help. Okay, I'll mess with that later. Okay, let's find some paper. Now this is 4 7/8 by 5 3/4, so we're going to need a mat cut at I'm looking to see. I like this, but there's an awful lot going on between here and here. So how about we do a spider web there. I like that. It's neutral. Okay, so this is 5 3/4, so I'm going to cut, make sure I don't cut anything I want. I'm going to cut that at 5 5/8. And this is 4 7/8, so I'm going to cut that at, let's see, 4 3/4. Let's see how that works. Oh, I'm too big. That's 5 1/4, not 5 3/4. Okay. So I need to take a 1/2 inch off. There we go. Cute. Alright. And again around the sides. My camera is gonna go out, but what I'm gonna do is pre-cut some paper and then just give you guys the measurement, because I am sure you all aren't going to want the exact same design as me as far as the paper goes. And this would be great for a December daily also, so a Christmas paper would be awesome. Any kind of daily it would work with. So alright, you guys, I'm going to pre-cut some paper for at least the next couple pages, and then we can continue on. It's looking good so far though. Okay, let's get through the rest of this first page here. I cut a piece of this candy paper, and this is cut at 4 5/8. by 4 7/8. I almost considered putting this paper on the front, because then if you looked into the calendar, or the countdown calendar, it would look like there was candy in there, whether there was candy or many of them in there, but I don't know, I decided against it. And then same dimensions, I cut this orange paper. Gonna leave it pretty bare bones for now, and then after we get everything put together and we count all our spots, then we'll maybe fancy it up a little bit. And then I got that coordinating Authentique spectrum paper in the orange. And I'll link all the products below. I'm going to use the striped side for now. Oops. And then I'm going to add this 3x4 cut apart, and it says "Witching You a Happy Halloween Night." And I am going to mat it on a 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I'm going to use one of my hinges to put it right on the page. I'm going to use the bone folder here and get a good crease in this so it doesn't stick up too far. It's very nice. And then I'm just going to use ATG tape. We're not going to have, it's not a, there's no leverage on this, so I'm not worried about it having too much torque on it there. And I think I'll just stick this right in the middle of the page, using the lines to help me line it up. There's page 1. Let's count. Optional 1, but for sure 1, 2, 3. We can even do 4 and 5 if you wanted to, or you can just do 4 under there. Okay, so the next page is just a 5 1/4 by 4 7/8, which was the same as this one. I'm going to score tape this side. And I'm just going to stick that right to the hinge. And I leave, like I said, about 1/16 of an inch down at the bottom. Now this one is going to have a fold sideways, and there's just a little piece right here, so I'm going to go ahead and cover that. First, what color am I going to use? I like this candy paper because it matches here. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm just going to go ahead and matte this here first, and then I'll probably double matte this because this is quite a bit smaller than the flap I have there. I'll measure the flap for you here in just a second. So let's see, we're talking candy. What if I took that would actually fit that perfect. I like this paper with that. It's not like overpowering busy. Here, how about this? I have this strip right here. What will that do for me? That'll get it. Alright, so let me cut this one at 4 3/4. And I think this is, it's almost 1 1/4, but the length really doesn't matter because we're gonna cover it up essentially. Okay. I think I may fussy cut some more pumpkins out too for the and run them all along the whole side of that. Okay, so this piece here is cut at 5 by 4 3/4 and scored at a 1/2 inch. And I am going to put some Scor tape on this one to hold it on. And let me see where I want it lined up. Let's line it up kind of centered, I think. Let's do that. Again, I'm going to reinforce this fold. And I'm going to use my little dots there to make sure I got it straight, which I don't. And then I'm going to go ahead and use this for the inside. And this measures 4 1/8 by 4 3/4. And you can cut one a little bit longer. You can cut it like an extra 1/4 inch so that it covers some of this. But I'm not worried about that per se. So I think this will look nice behind this flap here. Like just that candy poking through. Kind of mirrors that. My tape is not being nice. Almost out, but that's why, so once I flip it to a new one, it'll be all good. I'm going to line these up with the outside edge because I think that's the most important. I am a little crooked, and it really does, this part here, you can really see it, so let's find something to cover that up. I have plenty of stuff. I think this border should do. It should be cut at about 4 3/4. Perfect. You could even leave this, like one side of this up and just like glue down 3 sides of it, and you could have a tuck spot there. I'm just going to put it straight down. That looks better. Okay, and then over here, let's do this part first. So I have this 4x4, and this is, once I folded it, it is a little less than 4.5 by, should be 4 7 8, or 4 3/4. So 4.5 by 4 3/4, and what I would like is some dark purple behind that. So let's see what my options are. I have this one, that may be what I go with. I have the paper that I used there. But I've already used that several times, and I'll use it again. The bat paper is the same color as this. So, yeah, I'm thinking for this one. And it is 4.5 by 4 3/4, so we're going to cut it at 4 3/8 by 4 5/8. And the witches are sideways, but that's okay because I'm covering most of it. And actually, I would like black on this too. 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. I'm going to triple matte this one. And you don't have to if you don't want to. I just want the contrast. And since we decided to do that, let's make this a pocket, shall we? Alright, so first let's distress the edges here. Okay, and then let's center this on here. You should just have like a 1/16 all the way around. And then let's use our glue. Make sure we glue the right sides, and just 3 sides, 3 all the way around. Oops. Dries clear, so it's okay. And then I'm going to bring it, just instead of centering it, I'm going to bring it a little bit further down to the bottom so that something has a chance to stick in there. Alright. Alright, we'll let that dry and come back.